Master here. Quick blog. Okay, I've touched on this before, and I'm gonna reiterate a little more. Maybe go into this again. I'm gonna classify the fights that we train for and prepare ourselves for as martial artists. There's so much more to being a martial arts instructor and training in martial arts. I mean, there's the confidence conditioning, the sport aspect of it, the social aspect of it, there's so much. Martial arts has been my life for since 1970, so it's been a while. But as a martial artist and martial arts, just the word, it's training for a fight. A martial law. I mean, it's training for a fight, and whether that be some kind of mythical fight that some of these guys do with their crane strikes and their leopard skins and their wrist locks and stuff that they do. I mean, it's kind of like a fantasy fight, okay, and that's fine. Some guys just train for the sport, like say wrestling or judo. And then some guys just train for the street, Krav Maga, and some other ones, and some kind of mix it up. Like karate is, you can do sport karate, or there's a street version. Our system is called Hawaiian Kempo, and it is a street defense system, heavy on the conditioning. But since I've trained MMA fighters and Chuck Liddell and Glover and stuff, people kind of have thought of the Pit more of a MMA school, and we're more of a street defense system school. But I do train MMA fighters and I train kids. So those are my three classifications of a real fight. Okay, there's actually four, but I'm going to talk about the fourth one at the end because it's not really important. Okay, number one, first and foremost, street fight. Okay. A street fight is life or death. I mean, somebody's out there trying to punch you in the face, and I mean, you can die. You can hit your head on the ground. The guy will keep smashing you. It's life or death. If someone jumps you in a street fight, you should consider it life or death and defend yourself accordingly. Okay? It is better to be tried by 12 than carried by 6. Okay? Please don't forget that. Think somebody's jumping you in the street, it's life or death. And that's the way I train my students. Okay, we do preemptive strikes, we do defensive strikes, but we treat each scenario as life or death, because that's what it could be. And why would somebody be jumping you in the street unless you're trying to seriously hurt you or kill you? I mean, we're not talking about a sport. We're not talking about two friendly guys, putting their dukes up in the backyard, over a few drinks. Okay, I'm talking about a street situation where somebody attacks you. Treat it like life or death, and that's the way I train my guys. So that's number one: life or death, street defense. And that's what my Hawaiian Kempo system is. We're heavy on the conditioning because a street fight. It's not a 5-minute round. In a street fight, you're going to be exhausted in about 30 seconds. That adrenaline dumps in hard and fast in a street fight when it's life or death. It dumps in pretty hard in an MMA fight or a kickboxing match or a boxing match as well. But having that referee and knowing that it's a sport and having gloves and a padded floor and knowing somebody's going to stop it if you get hurt too bad, it takes away from that as a street situation, okay? So street fight, number one. Okay. Number two scenario that we train for is a sport combat. That would be MMA, kickboxing, boxing, wrestling, judo, jiu-jitsu. Something where you're simulating combat like a street fight, but there are rules. There's a judge. There's a referee. There's a padded mat. And hopefully there's some sportsmanship among the competitors. Some common respect. In a street fight, there's no respect. Okay, this guy's trying to hurt you. I mean, he could be in a rage on meth, on crack, on freaking alcohol. He's not even thinking. He's just trying to hurt something, and you need to defend yourself. In an MMA fight or a combat situation or a sport combat situation, usually there's a referee to break it up and to save you from further punishment. Okay, so that's number two. Number 3 is what we train our kids for. We have the biggest kids program in the county. And it's very important to teach kids how to fight and give them the confidence to defend themselves if they have to. Not as much life or death. We call it a schoolyard domination, okay? And that's for the bullying, okay? You're usually defending yourself against a bully. And usually if you defend yourself against a bully and you do okay but you don't win, maybe he beats you up, but you put up a good fight, he's not going to pick on you anymore. Other bullies aren't. They want the easy guy. They want the guy that doesn't fight back. They want the wimp, okay? So we teach our kids for confidence. Confidence will change your life, okay? Defending yourself against that bully and conquering that bully, whether you actually beat him or not, just to, beating him mentally, knowing that you're no one to mess with, you're not going to be bullied anymore. You gain confidence. Your life becomes better in every aspect. Even as an adult, you get bullied, whether it's emotionally or financially or intellectually. People are always trying to bully you and pick on you. Having the confidence, even it sounds primitive, but knowing how to fight and being able to defend yourself and knowing that you can take care of yourself physically, it adds to your confidence in the workplace, on the street, talking to people. It adds to your confidence. And I know that for a fact. So we have the schoolyard domination fight, which isn't life or death, but it's to make your life better and make sure the kid isn't going to be labeled a bully or a bully target. Okay, so that's one of them. Number 2, life or death, street situation. We train for that, and then the combat sport. We train for that. The 4th one is the guys in the bar that are drinking too much and they get into an argument and they go outside and duke it out. That's stupid. I would never partake in that, and my guys better not either. So that's just 2 drunks that I hope just beat the shit out of each other. Okay? They're worthless. So anyway, so those 3 situations are what we train for. Combat, street self-defense, and schoolyard domination. Thanks for coming.
1, 2, 3. We are the Pit.